Good morning, everybody. Today, it is September 11th. So, we want to always remember that. I think that's the slogan for September 11th. Um, so, today is September the 11th, and this is a historic Westside Revitalization. My name is Tashika Lawson, and we're going to get started. So over the past week, I'd say the biggest event that we actually had was the meeting that happened over at the Doolittle Community Center. So, pardon background. Everybody's inside for COVID. Just wanted to make sure that everybody knows. So we actually discussed the African American Museum that's proposed to go inside of the historic West Side. So we actually had a lot of people turned out. We seen the city employ some new strategies and tactics when it comes to the engagement with the community of the West Side. We're seeing that even though we do have multiple venues inside the historic West Side, we did meet at Doolittle Park, the Doolittle Community Center. I'd say one of the issues that we ran into and we would like to be able to address is seeing if we can get an actual community center, multi-generational community center inside of the historic Westside community. As you know, if you are a person who's driven through the neighborhood, walked through the neighborhood, or just happens to know the historic Westside, we have a lot of people. We don't actually have a place to congregate outside of churches that are going to be located inside of the historic Westside. So that's going to be important. But going back to the topic of the African American Museum, we covered a lot of topics. They actually brought in some outside experts, people who actually took part in creating the African American Museum out in D.C., and then people who came in and are currently operating African American museums inside of California. So those were the guest speakers and people who are going to be, we're not sure if they're going to be running lead or if they're the people who just opened the initial dialogue about what's actually going to be happening for the museum. So we had a lot of people who mostly had questions, but for the most part, we've seen a lot of support of wanting an African American museum to be located inside of the West Side. Mostly what we seen was everybody wanted to be able to be a part of what was going to be happening, and then find out what is actually going to happen. How long is it going to take? How many jobs is it going to create? What's it going to actually do for the overall West Side? Who's actually going to be supporting it? Is it actually going to help to increase the money coming into our area? Sorry, you guys get to hang out with my co-host. His name is Zira. So if you guys were in attendance, we actually got to see the Councilman Career was able to come out and he engaged with the audience. And we had a lot of different people who came out. So we did actually make a recording of the entire thing. We're going to post that right after this. It is about an hour and 20 minutes. So it is quite long, but if you missed out on the actual attendance of the meeting, you'll be able to see it because we sat in the front row so that we can record it without getting too many people involved. So if you're a person who's in the video and you would like to be taken out, please let us know. We just wanted to make sure that if you didn't get a chance to come out to the meeting because you were inside for COVID restrictions, or if you were a person who was already working but you wanted to be able to see what was happening so you can voice your opinion to the councilman, we'll be posting that video a little bit later. Then that way you can actually engage from that perspective. Another thing that we've seen over the last week, it wasn't last week, it was the last city council. I know that everybody that attended for us were very disappointed in the fact that the James Gay Park was rezoned because of the fact that it was, we understand that this is a quote unquote housekeeping item that happens for the city, but when it comes to the engagement for the community, we know that there's a huge disconnect happening. we can't see this as anything more than an actual intentional effort. We know that we have been engaging, trying to actually kind of connect the difference between what we're seeing that the city of Las Vegas is presenting and what the community is actually requesting. So the last presentation that we did over for the city council last week, we brought over the like large visual aids just to make sure that the point was we were able to deliver the actual point of what we're actually seeing. And even though it was not something like we know that there's supposed to be more engagement from this perspective, we did again ask for the creation of a commission for the historic West Side for anything that's going to be going on there, and that didn't happen, and so that green space was actually lost. The second proposed site for the second proposed thing that we talked about this past week, which was the historic African American Museum that's supposed to be going inside of the historic West Side. It's going to be on this. It's proposed to be on the site of an existing park. One of the things that we asked, and this was told to everybody, you'll be able to see in the actual video, that this site is still up in the air, that nothing is concrete, that it could possibly go somewhere else. We're just trying to figure out if that is actually true, or if this is something that has already been laid out, like 5 years in advance, because as a community, we want to make sure that if there's something that's going to be happening that's going to directly affect us, this again is another one of the parks that acts as an actual as a oxygen scrubber for us. It actually helps to cleanse the air in our area, and if that is taken, then we'll be relegated to just one small tiny park that's going to be across from the I believe it's the Barlow Heights building, and we know that you're technically not allowed in that park unless you actually have a child with you. So seeing as how parks are public assets, it is not something that you should be able to tell somebody that they cannot come. As long as somebody has pays their taxes, they are entitled to be able to enjoy any of the parks, unless it is inside of an actual private community, which as an actual public park, we know it's not. So we are looking forward to seeing how this actually develops. But honestly, we would prefer for everybody to be able to attend the meeting just like we did. Again, this is another city site that we went to, and we were, sorry, one second. Sorry. This is another city site that we went to that we were unable to actually access the Wi-Fi so that we can broadcast live on Facebook. So this is an item that we've brought up at City Council. We will be reaching out to their communications department to see if there's a way for them to be able to improve that, along with being able to improve the actual, to be able to improve the communication for people who may be hearing impaired. That is going to be persons who are deaf, or people who just have a hearing impairment, that we want to get something that's a little bit more comprehensive, possibly create another job that's inside of the city by having an actual live interpreter to be able to help with that, because we know that everybody is going to be able to hear what's going on if it is actually coming out of our speakers, but closed captions are not the only way that we should be able to communicate. So that is an item that we addressed, and for us to be able to engage interactively. So we've seen that the city of Las Vegas was broadcasting live. So as you see, my buddy he wants to hang out with me. So as we see, the city of Las Vegas was broadcasting live that same day that we were. So if you decide to tune into the city of Las Vegas's closed caption and you're able to watch them, then you'll be able to see it from a different perspective. We were sitting in the front row so that you guys can see everything that we did. So we'll probably be posting some of the things that are going to be on the city council agendas for the city of Las Vegas, the city of North Las Vegas this week. We'll post it here. And if you are interested or know anybody who would like to get information on what is going to be happening with the city of Las Vegas in regards to public hearing, public notices, and ways that you can either get involved or people that you can contact regarding certain issues, please reach out to us. We will see if we can actually get it posted so that you, as at the very least for the city of Las Vegas, can see the different departments that you'll be able to contact to get things done, and then the different council people who are going to be in the city of Las Vegas for your ward. So I will be ending our video a little bit earlier today because we know that the video we're about to upload is incredibly long, but we want at the very least for you guys to be able to enjoy your mornings while you're able to tune in. So we're gonna tune off now, and I hope you guys enjoy the meeting that we were able to record. We will talk to you later, and we hope that you have a great Saturday. We hope that you have a enjoyable 9/11 holiday. I know that it is not officially a holiday, but like it is a way for us to be able to remember people who actually were like the actual people who are victims of hatred in our community. And then for us to be able to actually look at how we as people can come together and actually move forward towards like an actual singular purpose when it comes to us being able to just act as an actual community. So I like to look at 9/11 personally as a day for us to be able to reflect on what has happened and for us to be able to join hands with one another and move forward. So this is, again, a holiday where we can actually start thinking about how we're actually going to be able to move forward. So we're wanting to bring more solutions than problems. So please enjoy the video, and we will look forward to seeing you guys next time. Okay. Well, have a great Saturday.